What's up, everybody? This is a 20-minute mobility series that we made for a high school team in this area. So what we're going to do first is go into flexion in a quadruped position, and then we're going to work into spine extension through there. So we're going to, arms locked out here, get into flex position through our spine as best I can. Take a big quality breath in and out. We'll walk our feet out, and we're going to extend through the spine into a cobra type position. Take a big quality breath, transfer on over, flex, big quality breath, walk our feet out, extend through the spine, and we'll go through this for a set of 6. Looking up towards the ceiling as best you can. And as you flex your spine, you're trying to look between your knees. Take a big breath. Two more. So the next thing we're going to go into is a bridge iso hold, single leg extension, so knee extension. So we'll hold up here in the bridge, and then we'll flick our knee out, knee extension here, while trying to maintain this position right here. So we'll go through that 10 times. Good job. Next thing we have here is a reach. So it's an overhead reach. This is a lat test, right? So we'll be here with our knees bent, arms straight. You'll reach overhead and try to take your thumbs to the floor without having your low back arch, like this, all right? So you'll be here for 1, come back, extend legs. You'll sit up, and we'll go straight to a toe tap. All right, so knees bent, and you'll transition to both. And we'll do this for a set of 6. All right, the last thing in this circuit is going to be a 1/4 reverse crunch, and you're going to do side rotations with that. So your hands will be off to the side here in a T. You're going to slowly bring your pelvis up and rotate up, and then we'll rotate to the side, rotate to the side. All right, and we have that 10 times. All right, that's step 1 of the circuit. We're going to actually go through that again, and then we'll show the latter part of this exercise circuit later on. So let's go ahead and get started doing it again. So we'll go into this quadruped position like we did previously. We'll flex up here, take a big quality breath, and then walk your feet out. Extend through spine, looking up at the ceiling. Big breath. And we'll do this for 6. Do that for 1 more. All right, we'll transition to the alternating bridge. So you'll be up here, maintaining this position in the hip extension, and then walk out, or extend through knee, extend through knee. All right. All right, we'll transition to the overhead reach and to toe touch. So knees bent. Try to have arms touch overhead. Try to touch the floor with your low back pressing into the floor. And we'll do this 5 times. All right, so the next thing that we have here is reverse crunch to side bends, side rotation. So arm off to the side here. Pick the pelvis up, rotate, rotate. And we'll do this 10 times. All right, take a breather, and we're gonna move on to the second portion of this mobility circuit. So the first thing we're gonna go into is pigeon wrist cars, right? So the pigeon position, you'll have 2 options with this. You'll go into the pigeon position with your right leg bent and your right foot on top of this thigh, and the left leg in a 90-90 position, or you can just do this seated like this. All right, so let's go into the pigeon position first. Wrist cars. So for wrist cars, your arms will be at a 90-degree angle here. Extend through the wrist and make sure that this forearm doesn't move, both your forearms don't move. Rotate towards your pinky. Rotate up so I can see the palms of your hands, or you can see the palms of your hands. Rotate towards your thumb and come on down. We'll do that for 5. So rotate towards your pinky. Scoop up, don't let your forearms move, sitting tall, rotate towards your thumb, come on down to extension, reset if you have to, and we'll do that for 3 more times, all right? And we'll go to the other side holding that pigeon position. And again, if you are not comfortable with this position, you can sit crisscross and work through wrist cars. So forearms don't move here. We like to say if there's a nickel on top of your forearms, the nickel or the coin doesn't fall off. All right, so that's pigeon wrist cars. The next thing we're going to go into is half kneeling thoracic rotation with cervical rotation along with that. So let's go with our left leg in front here, arms across. Your back foot is set up like this. So you'll rotate and won't have your chin rotate or your neck. You'll just meet your left shoulder on top of it. All right, rotate as best you can. Keep that front leg planted into the floor, and we'll come back. And we have that 5 times. Big breath at that end range rotation. All right, then we'll switch legs. Make sure that your hips aren't moving with your back as you rotate, right? You're trying to create a little bit of separation through that. So get into your setup position, rotate towards your left, have your chin touch your right shoulder, and come back. And we'll have that for 5 times. Good job. All right, so the next thing we have is alternating hip flexion with shoulder IR, ER. So I'm gonna do this with plyo balls. You don't have to, and you can just use no plyo balls, right? So we'll be here at the 90-90 position. We'll come up into flexion here, and then we'll start to rotate. So you're just constantly going back and forth, hold for 2 seconds, and coming back up. And we'll do this 15 times. All right, good job. So the last thing that we have is forward and lateral lunge with forearm or elbow supination, pronation. All right, so you'll be here. This is what supination, pronation would be, just going like this. All right, so what we'll do here is forward lunge and then lateral lunge. All right, and we have that 5 times each. Maintain that height with your elbows. We'll go the other direction. All right, so that's the first set of that exercise. We're gonna run through it again, all right? So we'll go into pigeon. I'm gonna show you the seated wrist cars. So you'll be here with your forearms on your knees, right? You're pressing down into the inside of your knees, making sure that your forearms don't move. All right, you're trying to maximize extension here through your wrist. This is called ulnar deviation. You're rotating in towards your pinky. You're scooping up. This is wrist flexion. So you're trying to have your palms and your fingers straight up towards the ceiling. As you transition and rotate towards your thumb, go ahead and come down. You have that 5 times. we'll transition to the half kneeling rotation with cervical rotation. So you'll be here, arms across chest. Rotate, take a big breath when you come out, try to take your shoulder or your chin, touch your shoulder, and come back. Big breath at the end range here. You can do that 5 times. Switch sides. Alright, so now the next thing is the rotations of the shoulder in the ER-IR with alternating hip flexion. This time I'm not going to do it with a plyo ball. So you'll be here, go ahead and get started. Hold for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds. And make sure that leg that's straight into the floor is actually straight. You have this 15 times. Alright, so the last thing is we have the supination, pronation, forward lunge, lateral lunge. And we're going through this 5 times each side. Alright, so that's the mobility series, taking you in various ranges of motion, making sure that you stay athletic and you are assessing range of motion as you go through it.